Hi guys, this is Nati.
And this is Molly.
And we are the
Beauty Twins.
Thank you guys for rejoining us to our part 2 of our video that we recorded today with the Taco Bell Mukbang. And now the second part will consist of virtual classes for our children. And stay tuned. Sit down, get a drink, get something to eat. And I hope that you guys enjoy it.
Yes.
See ya.
See ya.
So, now, it's been 3 weeks. Roughly 3 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
The school started. And it is quite an experience because it's something very, very new to everybody. I found that the first 3 weeks, luckily, I'm able to be, what do you call that? Have knowledge and being a little techie. And I've been able to help my daughter with it. So I kind of sympathize or empathize with those parents or grandparents who are taking care of the kids while at home, right? Virtually doing school, because some of them unfortunately can't help their children. But it has caused frustration, right? On all parties, on the school, on the teachers, on the parents, and on the children. So we're all in this together. Together is how we're going to get through it. But I found that the virtual way, even this possibly going to be the new way going forward, has taken an immense amount of time to get adjusted. Learning, unfortunately, these teachers, they're wonderful teachers. I don't take away from them. They're great. They're awesome, but they're not technical experts, right? So unfortunately, it's been a struggle to be able to get the right schedule, the right homework, the right links. Then there's the fact that as a website developer, a lot of people don't know. If you know, I am a website developer and I also do software testing, for those who know what that is. And I'm able to recognize and identify when a website is very, very complex and very, very well made, just as well if it's a very weak or low budget website. Unfortunately, a lot of these websites that are not made by those teachers, they're not created by the Board of Ed. These are websites that are either bought or subscribed by the school from other entities or other third parties. And these websites, either whether it's math or the reading, there's so many glitches. And I find that my child, she does her homework and then everything disappears. She has to do it over. Now, let's say she spent an hour in that work and it disappeared. Now she has to redo it. Right? And you don't really memorize the answer once you answer. Now she has to recalculate her math. And I think last week we had an experience. She was up to her fifth time. I said, we're not going to do it anymore. We're going to screenshot it. We're going to show the errors. She couldn't turn in her work because there's a turn in button. You turn in your work. And the teachers are getting frustrated because they'll call the parents or they'll send you an email. Your child is not doing work, is not doing homework. Well, she's actually next to me doing it. And luckily, because I'm very techy, I was able to take screenshots. I was able to have conversation with the teacher and let them know, listen, I am a website designer. I create websites. I am specialized and I'm a professional and certified to identify bugs and glitches. It's what I do for a living. And she had she was very impressed. She was able to understand on this end as the student or the parents, why is it that a lot of these children apparently have not done work or submitted it or turned it in. And luckily, I guess, I've been given the opportunity to have this profession or have this background and knowledge. And now it just so happened today the teacher reached out to me. She had a couple of questions, something very simple like control plus and control minus increases or decreases your screen, because she's sharing the screen and literally the words or the letters were this tiny. You couldn't see them. And she's teaching them and all the children said, I can't see, but she couldn't figure it out. And so she knows I'm kind of a little techie. She reached out, she goes, there's any way. And I gave a couple of tips and she was very grateful. But listen, tell us, how is it going for you guys who have children who are doing virtually? Comment below. Let's keep this conversation going, because if there's anything that you guys may need, have questions, I'll be happy to answer them. What about you? How's it been? Because my daughter's 8. So she obviously needs, the help. yours is 13 years old.
Eighth grade.
Eighth grade. Soon enough, he'll be in high school. How has the experience been for him?
Pretty much the same, but more on the homework side, that he turns in his homework, they say they don't receive it. But I'm right there next to him, and I see that he's doing the work and he's turning it in, and they don't receive it. They want to give him a grade as an incomplete.
Correct.
Not only that, but regular school versus virtual school, when they have homework, what I'm seeing is that when they come home from school, when there was school, the homework was probably maybe half an hour for an older child
Right.
as mine, not as Lady J.
Yes, my little butterfly is an estimate between give or take, depending on day, minimum an hour and a half.
Yes.
To maybe 3 hours.
So what I have noticed is that homework wise and homework time has actually more than doubled. And for those people that are working outside of home or at home,
Right.
it's getting very difficult and very frustrating, because the homework has actually doubled or possibly even tripled. Especially when you're turning in a homework and then it disappears and is nowhere to be found. They have to do it all over again. And that's the problem that we're experiencing. And the fact that they want to give incomplete, they want to give absence when they're not giving the Zoom codes and passwords, where the child does not have the knowledge of those access to get into the class if these passwords are not being provided.
Correct.
It's a constant emailing back and forth, texting back and forth, phone calls back and forth, dealing with the principal, the vice principal, the guidance counselor, the board of education, the amount, what is it, like 5 or 6 different teachers,
right?
Because you got the different topics: math, science, history, you got music, you got gym,
library, art, and it continues.
And it's very, very overwhelming. Not, like I said, not only for the children, but for the parents. And what I have noticed, the teachers are very good, but they are getting very frustrated, and they are speaking in a manner where a professional should not be speaking to a classroom in that manner. And I have seen it, heard it, and I don't really agree where if a child does not understand what the teacher is trying to learn, because this is all new to everybody, the teacher has to raise their voice or maybe even embarrass the child. That is a no-no. The teacher should always keep her composure
or his composure
and start from the beginning. Let's try it this way and try to teach it
right
in a different manner.
Right.
But sometimes there's one way you can explain something and the child doesn't understand. But when you go another route and explain it in a different way, the child is able to capture and understand what the teacher is trying to teach.
Right.
But what's happening is that they're not doing that. They're just repeating themselves in a desperation, frustration way. And then that in turn gets the students nervous. It gets them edgy. Yeah. It gets them in.
It affects the self-esteem. My daughter keeps constantly telling me, I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I'm afraid she's not going to fail because I'm going to be by her side to help her. But I totally agree with you. Her son and my daughter are in completely 2 different classes, obviously, and they're different ages. And that is exactly my experience. The first week, I got a call every day around 10, 11 that, where was Jalen? I'm like, she's present. She's in her class right now. They have marked that as absent. They fixed it. The same thing as you. They have given her incomplete markings the first 2-3 days of school. And the work was done. And I was by her side and I ensured that it was turned in. Luckily, again, going back to me being techie, I take pictures, screenshots, circle it, send it to them, send them the error message, and I've been able to fix those, gradings or however they log, I've been able to help them fix it. But yes, I do also hear how frustrated the teachers get. I empathize with them and I understand them, but again, to your point, there's also a way of handling situation. These children nowadays, you see this 1-year-old, they take a phone, and if you don't know something, they'll teach you. But these children do not have the same experience, not just with a laptop, but let's say the Chromebook. The Chromebook appears to be a laptop, but technically it's not a laptop. And my daughter received a broken Chromebook, by the way, and she got graded because the button, and I have reported this, I reported it before she got graded. I reported it while she received the grade, and I kept on reporting it even after the grading. But they gave a Chromebook in which the back space, the space bar, the control button, and I forgot other button, were not working. So she had the answers correct, but because the cat button doesn't work, was all caps. And because the space bar does not work, there was lump sum of space between the writing, right, with the typing. These children technically have never received typing class. When we were in high school, we received typing class, right? Let's say we didn't receive that typing class, we shouldn't be graded on typing. Yeah. Right? So now in the new way, we understand there's a new way, but with this new way, then the curriculum should be changed and updated to include, going forward, we're going to include a typing class or a class to kind of help you navigate within a laptop. Yeah. Once they get that teaching, then it should be part of the homework or part of the lesson, because you should know better as long as the Chromebook or laptop doesn't have broken buttons, by the way. That was settled. They fixed her grades. They understood that the correct answers were there, but I brought the laptop or the Chromebook. They gave a brand new one that's working perfectly. But these are the experiences that we're both having here. Yeah. I was gonna say another.
And it's very time consuming.
Very time consuming.
And it also goes into the weekends.
The weekend, your personal time. Last week on Wednesday, my daughter and I, we ended homework at 10:30.
With only a minor break just so she could have dinner.
I'm talking about she logs on from 8:30 straight through and just bathroom break, eating break, and bath break. But last week I logged it. We ended at 10:30 on Wednesday, 11:30 on Thursday, and Friday, which is already a weekend, at 12:45 in the morning, just to be able to catch up because it's just too much to do. So what's the issue? Now they're going. You said triple the time of homework, right? So she did 3 hours or so. We're looking at 9 hours if you do the math. And unfortunately, now they get up early the next day to log on, and you see all these little children on the little faces on the square boxes, whether it's Google Meet or Zoom, and the poor little things are falling asleep. Yeah. And you hear the teacher say, "Hey, so and so, wake up! You didn't get enough rest." Well, no, they're bombarded.
They are.
They're completely bombarded. It's completely out of this world. And while I'm all for supporting the teachers, I'm all for supporting the Board of Ed, I'm all for supporting education for our children to grow, to learn, to expand and elevate. I'm all for it. Yeah. But because it is a new way, with this new way and changes, things need to change.
They have to change their ways as well.
The expectation of how things are being taught and learned, and the expectation of how homework should be done or submitted or turned in, that needs to change completely. So tell us, what's your experience?
Yes, we are interested in what you've gone through, or even how have you made it better for your household. What have you guys done? How have you been dealing with this new virtual learning? How are you doing with the multiple children? Because some of us we only have one child. But how are you guys doing when you have 2 and 3 and 4 children in different classes and different grades? I'm pretty sure you guys are going out of your mind. So we want to know in the comment section down below, how are you guys dealing with it? What are you doing to make it better? And anything else?
No, well, the last thing is, I don't know other school districts, but our school district is using Google Classroom, which is great. And the misconception about that is that when you go in to find homework, there is homework there. But what teachers did not understand is that they're telling the children, we don't see homework being done. It's not done. But what they're not making clear is Google Classroom is not the only place to go for homework. There's different websites, but they don't make it clear. You have to go to Think Central. You have to go Khan Academy. You have to go Clever.com to Mayan. They don't make that clear. So the homework is not centralized in one place in Google Classroom. It's all over in different websites. So a lot of children, they do their Google Classroom homework, great. And when the teacher says, you're not completing your homework, they're not being clear. They're not actually saying the Google Classroom homework is done, but that other website or this other website or this other website is incomplete. So I went ahead and I created a step-by-step 8:25, 8:30, 9:15, 10:15, every single thing that needs to be done, where it can be found for the third graders. And I submitted it to the teacher. Let me tell you, the teacher sent me back an email. She couldn't have thanked me enough for it. But anyway, guys, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Yes. I hope that things get easier, and they will get easier. It's just a matter of adapting, right? I believe now after 3 weeks, you give it another 3 weeks, my daughter's going to be a pro. Your children are going to be pros. You guys are going to be pros. And everything's going to get better as long as we keep giving each other positive feedbacks. Keep it calm, keep it cool. Let's just communicate, and we'll get through it together.
And let's keep that conversation going in the section box below. We would love to hear your comments, and be sure that we will answer you back.
Other than that, thank you guys for joining us for another video. Yes. We always enjoy you guys staying with us and enjoying our time with you.
Spending time with us.
Yes, and in the meantime, once we leave, we're going to finish our food. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, for those who have subscribed, we love you. Thank you for supporting us. Those who have not subscribed, go ahead, click on that subscribe button. It's free. It only takes a second, not even a second, to click on it. Make sure you like the video. Please, please, please share it.
Share the video.
And you know what, guys? We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.